So in this video we're going to look at an application called Doceri and how you can use it in your classroom. So first thing, what is Doceri? It has several different components to it, and we're going to look at screenshots of the different ways that you can use Doceri, but you can use it as a wireless control for your computer, so you can be remote about the classroom and still control a PowerPoint or whatever's going on your computer, and then therefore being projected up onto the screen. You can also create and display presentations that would look similar to a PowerPoint presentation, but you have a little more flexibility using your iPad to wirelessly walk around. You can also use this application to create videos and upload them to YouTube or wherever you want to upload. So this application is similar to a few other that are out there. Doceri is free, and some of these are also free. Show Me, Educreation, Screenshot, etc. I've tried variations of several of these, and I like Doceri the best. It seems to have the most features to it, and it works best in my classroom. I started out with Educreations a couple of years ago, but the limit with Show Me and Educreations is that those videos are posted to their website, and my students couldn't watch them on their phone. Now, since then, those applications may have changed, and you might have that ability now, but with Doceri, I could upload my videos to a YouTube channel that I created specifically for my students, and we know kids are watching YouTube videos, so they have the ability to watch those on their phone easily. So it's just a little more flexible for me. So when you open up Doceri after you've downloaded it, it's a free application. Now there are options to purchase a few things throughout, and if you want to have a little more flexibility, there's options to get rid of the watermark that you'll see on the screen here in a second, and a few other things. But you don't have to do that. You can definitely work within the free capabilities. So this is what the application looks like when you open it. We're going to pick from my iPad alone and use it to create or display on AirPlay. What you don't want to do is try to open up AirPlay on your iPad and then try to do through your computer. You're going to create an infinite loop and your computer is going to spaz out a little bit. So if you're just creating something, you want to use from my iPad alone. So after you click that button, you're going to see a screen that looks like this, and it's going to automatically save all of the projects that you've been working on, so you can see my various pre-cal notes that are in here. But if I want to create a new presentation, then we just click the little plus sign that's down here in the lower left-hand corner. So after I hit Create New, you have an option for different aspect ratios, and depending on what you're wanting it for, you can pick different ones. It doesn't really matter. So after you pick the aspect ratio, you're going to open up to a screen that looks like this. Lots of different tools that are on the top bar and things that you can change. So first thing, if you click the little double rectangle box, that's going to make you choose a background. Lots of different background options. A lot of times I'll use notebook paper or just a white background. There's a chalkboard option, graph paper for math, lots of different things. There's even maps in here, and you can create custom backgrounds as well as just picking a simple color. Okay, you can also pick a color, as I said, lots of different colors. You can tweak those colors and adjust them if you don't like the ones that are listed there. You can also import images. So what I've done in the past is I have all those PowerPoints that I've created for my pre-cal classes, and I didn't want to start over with Doceri. So I saved those PowerPoints as JPEG images, and then I can import them into Doceri and write on top of them. So you can import any pictures if you find a clip art online or a picture that you want to use. That's where you can import those images. So it's going to pop up your camera roll. As long as it's saved in your camera roll, you'll be able to find it. You also have abilities to export it in a couple of different ways. If you don't want to make videos, you can just save these presentations as a PDF. So sometimes if my students are absent, I will save these as a PDF, and you can do by slide or by steps that are throughout your presentation. and I'll just print off each slide for them on a smaller scale so that they have a copy of the notes if they want it that way. Okay, so then we have the different tool options that are listed, and what I like about Doceri is that I can have a lot of different pen colors available to me. I can change the width, I can change spacing, the opacity, if I want to make a highlighter, lots of different functions here, and it even has a few shapes, which I like for math. So I'll just pick several different types of tools and have those available to me at the top, so if I want to switch pen color, it's really easy to do that. Okay, then there's this little drop-down menu that I've displayed here, and this is kind of your control panel to display your presentation or to add stops throughout your presentation. So if you want to add a new slide, just like you would in PowerPoint, the plus white pen is going to add a new slide. The red pen is going to add a new stop. So what you're seeing when in the control panel for displaying popped up, the new slide, and then the new stop, when those popped up, those are stops throughout my presentation. And you'll see that it'll add little red pins along your timeline so you can actually advance and fast forward through your timeline at any point and edit those stops if you need to. You can also slide through your presentation using these arrows up at the top. Those are going to slide through the stops because they have the red push pins. The bigger play button that's just below that will actually play, and it'll look like you are hand writing something that's on your text. So for example, if I hit play, it's going to look like I'm writing to record a video, but really I just hit the play button. So if I want to record a video, this is the option that I want to go to, and it also has all of my recordings already saved under this menu as well. So what I'll do is I'll go through and create my presentation using those old PowerPoints, or I'll start from scratch on notebook paper, and I'll use that during the day to teach my lesson, and then later I'll come back and re-record it by myself. I've tried to use the video during class and record as I was teaching, but there are a few too many distractions and questions, and it just, kids get off topic here and there. So it's just easier to do it by myself. So when I'm ready to start my recording, then I just hit start recording, and you just advance through your video. And what's nice about Doceri is that you can pause your video. Some of the other applications that were listed previously, you didn't have the ability to pause, so once you started, you had to finish. If you messed up in the middle of the video, you had to completely start over. If you mess up, you can at least pause and rethink about what you wanted to say and change things if you need to. Okay, so that's just a general look at what it looks like in the application. Now we're going to look at through the computer and how you can control your desktop through this application as well. So if I open Doceri again, the second option was through computer. And you have to download Doceri Desktop on your computer to be able to use this. And there's a few setup choices. So once I select Doceri Desktop, then anybody that's on your Wi-Fi system that's using Doceri Desktop is going to be listed here, but you've probably set up a password so that they can't access your computer. So mine is the top one that's listed, so I would select my room number, and then I can automatically have access to my computer. So again, you have to install Doceri Desktop to be able to do this. So once you've installed it, then this is the screen that you're going to see on your iPad, and this is my desktop computer. And I can open different files or PowerPoint presentations or whatever and control my computer through my iPad. I can also open a PowerPoint or a document and annotate on top of that using this version of the application. So for example, I opened up a PowerPoint on one of my lessons, and I would hit play down the bottom or start presentation, and I can advance through this presentation the same way I would if I was sitting at my computer or had a mouse or a remote to control my PowerPoint. The arrows at the top are going to control your advancing through your PowerPoint. So I can still control those and click through. And then if I want to write on top of my PowerPoint or emphasize something within it, then I hit the pen button up at the top, and it's going to allow me to annotate on top of my PowerPoint or your PDF, whatever. So it's going to look like your PowerPoint is on the screen, and then you can write on top of it and say whatever you want to say about your presentation, and then it will save it if you want it to. There's options on when you exit out if you want to save that as a PDF file. Okay, so how can I use Doceri Desktop or the Doceri application? So as I said earlier, I like to import my old PowerPoint slides as images and then annotate on top as I need to and add the stops for each step. Sometimes I'll just start from scratch and create my notes on top of these, putting in stops for each step that I want to walk through the steps with my students. You can use Doceri Presentation as you're lecturing, and then like I said earlier, I'll usually re-record the lesson at the end of the day and upload it to YouTube. I found that my students didn't really quite understand the notes if I just handed them a piece of paper if they were absent, so I've started uploading those videos to YouTube. They can go back and watch them, re-watch them. They can pause the video if they need to. And that just gives a little more flexibility, especially for learners that may be a little slower in class at taking notes. They can go back later and fill in any missing steps that they may have missed. So other teachers also use Doceri in my district and in my high school. They use it to flip their class, and that's the big word in education right now. But they will create their videos, post them to YouTube, and have the students watch those for homework and then come back the next day for a activity or homework, whatever. And that's what I'm excited about for the next year in my classes. I've done all of my videos this year, so I have a little more flexibility on the next school year of telling my students, okay, go watch your notes video tonight for homework. Tomorrow we're going to work on the assignment in class, and I'll answer any questions. So I'm really excited about having those notes complete and being a little more flexible this year in my classroom. So hopefully you learned a little bit about Doceri Desktop, and you'll try it in your class this year as well. Thank you.